everyone, I'm Thayu and I'm a night shift engineer in the semiconductor industry. So the semiconductor industry is a 24/7 production environment. So they make chips every single hour of the day and every single day of the year. So they require both a day shift and a night shift coverage. So I'm currently covering the night shift. So my shift starts at 8:30 p.m. in the night and ends at 9 a.m. the next morning. So about 12.5 hours of shift. So during these 15 months that I've been a night shift engineer, there are 3 tactics that I've employed to survive night shift. And they may be useful for you if you are also in night shift. Pre-sleep activities are quite important to me. So there are particular rules that I follow in terms of food intake, water intake, and caffeine intake. So with regards to water intake, I don't drink water about 6 hours before I sleep. So this is a intuitive one. Essentially, if you drink a lot of water or water close to when you're going to sleep, you're more likely to wake up to go to the toilet, and that will interrupt your sleep. So there have been some instances where I have had about 2 to 4 hours of sleep, and then after that I went to the toilet, and that was the last bit of sleep that I got. So that was not a good experience. So I tend to avoid water. The next thing is about food. So for food, I don't eat any food about 3 hours before I sleep. So this is pretty much not to ensure I don't activate the digestive system before I sleep. This may confuse the body and make it harder for me to fall asleep. So with regards to caffeine, I do it about 6 hours before I sleep. That's when I stop caffeine intake. So this essentially allows me to let the caffeine go through the system and get rid of it by that time I'm about to sleep, so that it doesn't affect my ability to sleep. And one of the last things that I do before I sleep is take this supplement called GABA-9. It allows me to more easily fall asleep. It's essentially a health supplement that contains GABA and melatonin. So according to the website, it helps people relax. So that's what I personally take. I don't necessarily endorse it. So if you want to take it, you probably have to consult a doctor on it, but it works for me. Alright, so the second thing is it's very important to have a sleep routine, essentially waking up at the same time and sleeping at the same time during your shift days. What this allows your body to do is, during the time when you're about to sleep, it sends in those sleep chemicals. I'm not sure on the exact neurotransmitters or anything of that sort. It essentially sends in the sleep chemicals that allows you to sleep during that time, because it's used to that period of time. If you were to have fixed that time as your sleep time, your body will get used to it. And also during the waking up time, your body also releases chemicals that allows you to wake up more naturally. So this is essentially to allow your brain to adjust to the changes during the shift. And in your off shift days, where you have a normal sleeping pattern, I would also recommend having a regular sleep schedule then as well. Alright, so the last and final tip is about the room setup. So what I did was, at the start of night shift, I bought blackout curtains. So these blackout curtains, essentially what they do is they block out the light that's coming from outside. So they essentially simulate a nighttime environment. And when it's nighttime, your brain is more easily able to send in those chemicals that allows you to sleep. So that helps quite a bit. The other thing I do is lower the temperature of the room. So when I come back home, about maybe 30 minutes before I actually start sleeping, I on the air conditioning to about 25 degrees Celsius. That works for me, and really cools down the room. And so by the time I'm sleeping, the room is cooled down, I'm able to sleep more easily. Other things that you can do, I don't do personally, is wear an eye mask, because I feel like the blackout curtains block out most of the light anyway. You can wear the eye masks, or you can wear earplugs if there's a noise. If the area that you're in is quite noisy, that would help as well. So this is the regular curtain with the lights on. With the lights off, it lets in a lot of light. These are the blackout curtains. When the lights are off, it doesn't really let any light into the room. I hope this video has been useful for anyone that is in night shift or is about to start night shift. But the truth is, despite all these tips, the night shift sleep will never be as good as you would have it in a day shift where you would sleep in the nighttime. But we work with what we have and we do our best to optimize with what we have. So let's all keep up the grind.